So, I just wanted to do a little review on Frontier 45, also called Big 45. I recently just got a Polytech Legend, and it came with this bayonet, and the outside cover had quite a bit of surface rust on it, and I honestly was terrified about cleaning this off because I didn't want to remove any of the factory bluing. These Chinese AKs have a very specific type of bluing, and it's, once it's gone, you can't really replicate it. Even if you could, it's not going to be perfect, and to a collector, it's going to decrease the value of the rifle. So I looked all over online, asked on Reddit, and a lot of people said you could use steel wool if you were super careful, some 4/0 steel wool. But then there were a lot of people saying that it was too rough and it would remove bluing. And you can see here just how much surface rust is on this one side. And I've already done this other side, and I am just completely shocked by how well this stuff really works. It's made out of different it's a special alloy that's got some like zinc and other softer metals that apparently this is a bigger piece, but I just cut off a smaller chunk of it to use. But apparently it's soft enough to where it will remove rust, but it will not damage the metal. It's not strong enough to where it will actually be abrasive to the metal itself. Whereas steel wool, if you press too hard, you can really start to, you can see where you've scratched on the finish, especially like Parkerized finishes and stuff like that. I know when I've used steel wool in the past, I definitely could see where I was kind of rubbing on it. It became a lot more dull. This, however, doesn't do that at all, and this is definitely going to be my go-to from now on for cleaning any kind of rust or anything. You can get this stuff on Amazon, and they've got a website. It's like, I think about $7 after shipping. You might have 10, 12 bucks in it. But I mean, I've used this piece on 2 rifles now. This little chunk that I cut off of the bigger piece, or the full thing, and I've used it on 2 rifles now, and I'm going to use it on this, and it doesn't look like it has broken down or anything. That's one annoying thing with steel wool too. After you use it for a little bit, you might take a huge chunk of steel wool, and by the time you've cleaned 2 or 3 guns with it, you're gonna, it's gonna be flimsy, and a lot of it's gonna have broken off into little tiny shreds of pieces and shit that you've got to clean out of your gun, and it makes all those little dust particles of metal. This doesn't do that at all. As you can see, this bigger chunk came out, but that's nothing, and it's easy to pick up. So I'm gonna show you guys a little how well this stuff really works. I mean, it is incredible. So we've got a pretty rusty surface rust on this bluing, and I'm pretty sure these bayonets are easily $200, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, depending on where you get one from. I've taken off the handle already here because there's a few spots that I'm going to try to get to. I think most of this is just wood, but that is some surface rust I'm going to get. There's some surface rust down in here for sure. A little bit more right there. You can see how dull that looks because of the surface rust on it. Some more surface rust there. This thing was really bad. This right here is the first spot that I did, and this was just covered in surface rust right here. And you can see it's pretty much all gone at this point. And Yeah. One thing I would recommend, and like I did on this, and before I use it on the Polytech, because the Polytech I bought, it did have a couple little spots that had a little bit of surface rust that I used this on, and that's why I started with the bayonet, and specifically just this little spot, trying this out just to make sure that it worked as advertised. And I would recommend doing the same thing on your gun. You know, test it on a little small inconspicuous area first, because just in case it does, you know, for whatever reason mar your, you know, particular bluing or your weapon, you know, you don't want it to be a huge spot. You know, I wouldn't go and just start, you know, using this on your receiver. I'd do a little small spot first just to check and make sure everything's going to be okay. But anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna start working on this, and you'll get to see how well this stuff really works. A nice shot here. Okay, so I've got my multi-purpose oil here. You could use gun oil. Honestly, any oil is gonna be good. I've got a little paper towel, and this is a brand new piece of paper towel, so you can just see how much rust actually gets removed here. So you're just gonna want to oil up the piece you're working on really well, and then you can hear how abrasive that is on that rust, and you can already see how dirty that's getting. You can hear it's getting smoother and smoother. And honestly, one thing people were saying on Reddit is if you use steel wool, you don't want to press very hard. But, you know, if you do use steel wool, you want to use a lot of oil and don't press very hard. But with this, I found that, you know, you can press kind of however hard you want to. So check this out. This is crazy. So check this out. Ready? Look at that. Just crazy. Get this bottom part. Look at that. This stuff's like magic. Look at that. Look at this. Kind of try it up as much as we can here. And you can see all that surface rust is gone. This stuff is really, really good. And this is way smoother than it was. I actually didn't do as good of a job on this side because I was having my wife record this and trying to pay attention to how I was holding the knife and stuff. There's still a couple spots down here I need to get. You can see them right there. So they're still rough, but the rest of this I did pretty good. It's really smooth, nice and smooth. This side it's as smooth as glass right now. Feels great. So that's my little quick review. There wasn't a lot of reviews online for this stuff, and the ones that I did see, they were you know, they were older videos and stuff like that. So I mean, this is 2022. This product is still being made. It's still out there. You can still purchase it, and it works really, really fucking good. I would 100% recommend it. I wanted to prove it by using a $200 plus bayonet. And yeah, so bayonet for a Polytech Legend. I used it on it. It works great. 100% would recommend. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.